Which of the following currency control protocol ensure? ऐसा कौन सा following है concurrency control protocol ensure both conflict serializability and freedom from deadlock, two-phase locking, time stamp ordering. Only two. Correct. Time stamp ordering ensure what? Ensure both conflict serializability and freedom from deadlock. Time stamp ordering is a concurrency control protocol that uses a logical clock to order transactions. This prevents conflict between transactions by ensuring that no transaction can read and write data that has been written by transaction with a letter. Timestamp ordering also prevents deadlock by ensuring that no transaction can wait indefinite for another transaction to finish. Two-phase locking is another concurrency control protocol that uses lock to prevent conflict between transactions. However, two-phase locking does not ensure freedom from deadlock. This is because of a transaction can acquire a lack resource and then wait indefinitely for another transaction to release a lock. Meaning, this can lead to a deadlock. Weakness in the system is enable process. It's not he क्या कह रहा है क्या कह रहा है क्या कह रहा है भाई साहब कह रहा है he is saying that time stamp ordering ensure deadlock है टाइम स्टॉम्प दिया जाएगा स्टॉम्प जो दिया गया ऑर्डरिंग इंश्योर बोथ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सीरियसबिलिटी एंड फ्रीडम फ्रॉम डेडलॉक बचाएगा किससे बचाएगा टाइम स्टॉम्प ऑर्डरिंग और कंकरेंसी कंट्रोल प्रोटोकॉल दैट यूज अ लॉजिकल क्लॉक टू ऑर्डर ट्रांजैक्शन ठीक है किसी एक को एक लॉजिकल क्लॉक दे देगा इतने समय के अंदर तुमको करना है जिससे क्या conflict transaction by ensuring that no transaction can read and write has been written by transaction with a letter timestamp. कुछ नहीं बच जाएगा timestamp ordering also prevent by ensuring that no transaction can wait indefinitely for another transaction to finish. ठीक है टू फेस लैगिंग अब टू फेस लैगिंग क्या है तो इस ना protocol that use lock to prevent conflict between transaction ठीक है does not ensure freedom from deadlock अच्छा freedom नहीं देती है deadlock transaction can acquire a lack of resource and then wait indefinitely मतलब कितना सवाल है कुछ कंफर्म नहीं लेकिन पहले इसको ऑर्डरिंग कर देती है ठीक what is reusable resources reusable resources means what that can be used by one process at a time and is not depleted by that use so what is reusable resources that can be used by more than one process at a time shared between various that none of them and the reason what is the reusable resources that can be used reusable resources that can be used by multiple process without being depleted. They are typically shared resources such as memory or network bandwidth. Reusable resources can be used by one process at a time. एक बार में एक ही प्रोसेस लेता है and is not depleted by that use. Mean that used again by another process that it has been used by the first process. For example, memory buffer can be used by one process to store data. Used by another process to different data. The buffer is not deployed, so it is active for the second process to use. Process to use. What is a reusable resources to reusable resources? One process at a time and is not depleted by that use. That can be used by one process at a time and is not depleted by that use. Which of the following condition is required for deadlock? To be possible, deadlock का possible होगा फर्स्ट म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूशन हो या प्रोसेस में होल्ड एलोकेटेड रिसोर्स while awaiting assignment of other resources. No resource can be forcibly removed from a process holding it. All of the mentioned. क्या हो सकता है? तो which of the following condition is required for deadlock? Deadlock क्या है भाई? इसमें में फंस जाना. All of the mentioned because all three conditions are required for deadlock to be possible. Mutual exclusion means that only one process can access the resources at a time. Mutual हो गया. This is necessary for deadlock to occur because if two processes try to access the same resources at the same time, then neither process will be able to continue and deadlock will occur. ठीक है. A process may allocated resources hold allocated resources while awaiting assignment of other resources. This is also necessary for deadlock to occur because it means that can be waiting for resources that is already being held by another process. It to a situation where neither process can continue and deadlock occur. No resources can be forcefully removed from a process handling it. This is also necessary for deadlock to occur because it means that a process cannot be forced to give up a resource that it is holding. ठीक है, जबरदस्ती नहीं कर सकता उससे ख़त्म करने के लिए. This can lead to situation where a process is holding, उसको होल्ड करना पड़ेगा resources that is needed by another process. जब तक उस पर एक another process पड़ता. First process cannot give up the resource at deadlock occur. Therefore, all three conditions necessary. Condition what? Mutual. तो म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूशन एक ही द प्रोसेस में होल्ड allocated resources while awaiting no resources can be forcibly removed. ठीक है. A system is in the safe state कब कहा जाएगा? जब system can allocate resources to each person. ठीक है. Still avoid deadlock. ठीक है. There exists a safe sequence all of the mentioned none of. क्या है आंसर? The system is in safe state. What if it can allocate resource? It can allocate resources to each person same deadlock. This means that the system is able to satisfy all of the resources without causing any of them to deadlock. A system is deadlock अगर हुआ it is in a state where no process can make progress. This can happen when a process is waiting for resources that is currently being held by another process and waiting for resources that is currently being held by the first process. This situation is called circular wait. And it is defining characteristic of a deadlock. A safe state is a state where no process can deadlock. This means that the system is able to satisfy all of the resources request of the process without causing any of the to deadlock. Option B is incorrect because the safe state does not necessarily there exists a safe sequence. A safe state is simply a state where no process can deadlock. Because a safe state is not necessarily all the mentioned. A safe state is simply a state where no process can deadlock. Still not necessarily none of them is safe state is simply a state where no process can deadlock. System is in safe state. जब deadlock बनेगा all of the mentioned. The system can allocate resources to each person in same order and still avoid the circular gate condition can be prevented. Why? Circular circular gate condition can be prevented by defining a linear order to resource type. Circular gate condition can be prevented by defining a linear ordering. होता है एक linear order of resource type using thread, using pipe, all of them. Condition can be prevented. कब हो सकती है? Define a linear order to resource. ठीक है. Circular wait condition occurs when a set of processes waiting for each other. एक दूसरे का 1 2 3 4 लाइन से प्रोसेस लगी हुई हैं each other to release a resources, but none of them can do so because they are all waiting for the other process to release their resources first. This can lead to a deadlock where no process can make any progress. Defining a linear order of resourcing type can prevent this condition, ensuring that no process can wait for resource that is already being used by another process. This is done by assigning each resources a unique number and then requiring that process wait for resources in the order of their number. There are three resources A, B, C. A is currently being used for process P1, then process P2 can only wait for B and C Process fee 3 can only wait for C. This ensures that no person will be waiting for resources that is already been used by another person and therefore no deadlock is incorrect. Option is incorrect. Which one of the following is the deadlock avoidance algorithm? Bankers algorithm, round robin, bankers बैंकर्स एल्गोरिथम क्या कहता है? वो एल्गोरिथम है इसमें डेडलॉक अवॉइडेंस एल्गोरिथम दैट प्रिवेंट, जो डेडलॉक होने से बचाता है, और इंश्योरिंग दैट देयर आर ऑलवेज इनफ रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल टू सेटिस्फाई ऑल आउट रिक्वेस्ट। हमारे पास इतने पर्याप्त साधन है कि हम उसको रिक्वेस्ट को हम सेटिस्फाई कर सकें। इट वर्क्स बाय कीपिंग track of the number of resources that are currently available. Each process, the number of resources that are available. When a process requests a resources, the banker's algorithm check to make sure that enough resources are available to satisfy the request without causing a deadlock. Not enough resources available, the request is denied. अगर available है तो लेगा, नहीं है तो deny कर देगा। Algorithm is a conservation algorithm, which means that it may prevent some legitimate request from being granted in order to avoid the possibility of deadlock. It is very effective algorithm for preventing deadlock. The round robin algorithm is a scheduling algorithm that allocates resources to process in a round robin. It does not prevent deadlock. Deadlock नहीं बचाता बल्कि दे देता है. The elevator algorithm that works by addressing request for resources. It does not prevent deadlock. The kernel project operation that works by detecting resolving अगर डज नॉट प्रिवेंट डेडलॉक, तो कर्ण वाला डेडलॉक आता है उसको सॉल्व करता है। कर्ण डेडलॉक अवॉइडेंस एल्गोरिथम वर्क बाय डिटेक्ट, पहले तो डेडलॉक को पकड़ेगा, रिजॉल्व करेगा और फिर जो भी हुआ उसको रिजॉल्व कर, डज नॉट प्रिवेंट डेडलॉक। एलिवेट एल्गोरिथम डेडलॉक अवॉइडेंस एल्गोरिथम वर्क। ठीक है, डेडलॉक अवॉइडेंस एल्गोरिथम लेगा लेगा, समय है तो लेगा प्रोसेस के लिए, डिनाई कर देगा। राउंड रोबिन डेडलॉक अवॉइडेंस। विच आउट द ड्रॉबैक ऑफ बैंकर्स एल्गोरिथम का ड्रॉबैक क्या है कि इन एडवांस प्रोसेस रियरली नो दैट हाउ मच रिसोर्सेज दे विल नीड। The number of process changes as time progresses. Resources once available can disappear all of. So the drawback of Banker's algorithm is that it is difficult to implement in practice. Following reason, in advanced process rarely known that they will need, पहले तो पता ही नहीं होगा कितना रिसोर्सेज चाहिए। Number of process change as time progress. Resources unavailable can disappear. Option A is incorrect because process rarely known in advance.